Hello and welcome to the Ram Show. It is Sunday, January 28th. I should probably look at the date before I start these. That might be a good idea. Anyway, welcome back. Welcome back to Tech Beam. Welcome back to the Ram Show. We got some exciting topics to talk about this week. And without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Zach in. Hello, Zach.
That's me.
Oh, you're so unenthusiastic. Why can you never be, like, enthusiastic about doing the show? I mean, you usually get there as we go through the show, but I mean,
that's just what you get, you know?
So Zach is one of those you get what you get kind of people.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. Anything exciting happen this week in tech world? Anything blow up?
No, nothing blew up.
So
that's good, I think.
Well, I guess I shouldn't say in tech world, but I guess in Zach world.
I mean, it's more of the usual, you know. GPU prices are still on the move.
Good point. Good point.
That's about the only thing that really bugs me.
Yeah. Rip my wallet when it comes time to build my system.
Funny story. Micro Center will apparently sell you a GPU at MSRP if you buy several other components.
If you buy
as long as it's not for mining, they say.
Okay, I like this because obviously building a whole system, I'm going to need some parts. Here's my only question with this, though. That is, how do they determine whether I'm buying it for mining or for other purposes, such as content creation? So how do they enforce it?
You just tell them. Or I don't know. I've never done it. I think the way they tell is they just put a limit. They say you can buy one or maybe two.
I see. Well, do people still run graphics cards at SLI? Is that, like, still a major thing?
Still a thing. I mean, it's not really more or less of a thing than it's ever been. I guess if anything, it's less of a thing than it's ever been. 'Cause you can't run 4 now, only 2.
Okay. I don't understand that whole world. I'm learning, though, or I want to learn at least.
It's just because SLI is not great. That's all. SLI kind of sucks.
I see.
Games have to support it, and even when they do, they're not perfect.
Okay. FYI, please make sure you don't clip yourself at the end, because you're kind of doing that.
No, don't blame me. Blame this dumb software.
I thought you were going to find a different solution for us. I thought that was something that you were going to do.
Fine. I mean, it's fine. It's just kind of like...
Well, it's fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine. But, yeah. Anyway. Oh, hold on. Let me... Hey, there we go. All right. So, me with my paper copies this week. But hey, sometimes that's easier. You know, as much as I love technology, sometimes I hate technology. If that makes any sense at all.
That sounds fair, I think.
Have you... See, I do this, right? And the first time my friends heard me say this, they're like, what? So... And I've said this on a couple of occasions, not very often, but the phrase is, I've had enough of computers for one day. Have you ever gotten to that point?
The phrase is what?
I've had enough of computers for one day.
I've never even heard of that.
Well, no, it's like a phrase that I came up with, but, well, I guess. I didn't really come up with it. But anyway, the point is, when I work on, like, people's computers for so long or whatever, or I'm messing around with computers to the point where they're starting to irritate me enough, I just get to this point where I'm like, nope, I'm done with computers for today. No, thank you. I'm done. I don't know. Have you ever gotten to that point before where you were, like, working on something, it just wasn't working, you're like, nope, I give up. I'm done.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, I want nothing to do with a computer anymore today. Even though, like, you know, everything is a computer in today's world. Ooh, I know. Well, okay, so here's the problem. You don't watch TV.
I hate TV.
And you don't, like... Well, you have
like
ad
ads
blocker.
every 2 seconds, and
Okay,
nothing
it
I
is
even
not
wanna
every
watch.
2 seconds, and I can attest to this because I actually work in TV.
Okay, well, you know what? It sure feels like every 2 seconds. I'll tell
Well,
you that.
you know,
Okay, fine. It's every
funny
15
enough,
minutes, whatever. But you know what?
the FCC
It's every
actually
15 minutes. Might as well be the same thing.
funny enough, the FCC does actually regulate how much content to commercial ratio there can be. Believe it or
Wow.
not.
I would have never expected that because
I didn't either.
the current ratio is horrible. I'll tell you that.
Well, okay. I guess you're part of my generation, but the up and coming generation, we talked about this before, live in the era of I want it now. So,
Well,
and
I
okay,
guess, yeah. I mean,
like
I don't know.
streaming with like Netflix has made that possible. I want to watch
Yeah,
this show
and
at
it
this
should
time
because you have to pay
without
for
commercials.
Netflix, you know?
You
If
pay
have
for
to pay
Hulu
for
and you still have
Netflix, you shouldn't
commercials.
have to have ads in your face. If Netflix was free, they could put ads on it, but it's not free, so.
Hulu does it though.
Do they really?
Yeah,
And Hulu costs money, right?
they've got different tiers. Well, right now, see, you probably wouldn't take advantage of it, but like as a student, this is a really great deal. You can get Spotify Premium and Hulu with limited commercials. Yeah, I know, limited commercials, but still, you can get both of those bundled for like $5 a month. It's actually a pretty sweet deal. Yeah, but Hulu's been doing it from the start, so I guess it's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, whatever. They've done it from the start. So, yeah, but Hulu has better shows, and I'm wondering if they're able to have better shows because they've got more capital coming in. So, therefore, more money to spend on licensing and stuff like that. No, you do not. This is why you're not on the business end of TechBeam Media. The partial business end of TechBeam Media. Anyway. Hey, I have some projects that I'm thinking about. I just have to pitch them. So, anyway. Excuse me. Shall we get into tech topics for this week? Yay? Nay? Yay. Oh, goodness. I suck, Zach.
Yeah.
No,
I guess so.
I really do. Nobody's heard your end of the conversation for a while.
Really?
I apparently forgot to unmute your side.
Oh, okay.
On my end. Great! Well, okay, so for those of you who couldn't hear Zach, basically we've just been... Well, you heard my end of the conversation. Yeah, anyway. Alright, let's move on to actual tech topics for this week. And this is the part that really matters. Nobody cares about the bantering. So, anyway. Apparently we have 2 people online. Well, one other person, I guess. I don't know if it's Joe. If it is, he can maybe say hi in the chat if it is him. And also, if it's him, why didn't you tell me that you couldn't hear Zach? Just saying. Anyway. Alright. Yes, it is Joe. What the heck, Joe? You hear me bantering on, but you don't hear Zach? Whatever. Anyway, okay. Moving on. This is the part where I get, like, some excuse in the chat. Oh, I wasn't fully paying attention, which, okay, fine, whatever. Alright. Google Chrome. Is it your browser of choice, Zach?
No.
Oh, okay. What is your browser of choice, and why?
What is the other browser that actual people use?
Microsoft Edge?
No. I said actual people. Edge users aren't people.
I was trolling you hardcore there.
Edge is for people who are using their other people browser of choice, and
Okay,
then
okay,
something
okay.
decides it's not going to work. So then you just try it with another browser just to see what happens.
Right. Okay.
That's the only use
Netscape.
Edge has.
Netscape.
There's a reason it doesn't exist anymore,
Opera.
don't you think?
I've never actually used Opera before. Have you?
Neither have I.
No, Firefox. So I use both Chrome and Firefox. I have a dual monitor system, and so I like to be able to have one browser on one side, one browser on the other side. So that's why I use both of them.
Wait. Hold on. Like, why don't you just open two windows of Chrome or Firefox? It's not
Well,
like
see,
you can
here's
only
the
have
other
one.
thing too: multiple Gmail accounts. So it's a lot easier to have separate browsers to keep those two things separate.
Okay, fine.
So
Whatever.
anyway, and like for website development, it's nice to be able to see things on multiple websites because, like, okay, HTML for the most part between Chrome and Firefox, like if you make something look one way, well, HTML and CSS, uh, it will come out pretty much looking the exact same way on Firefox as it will on Chrome. But then you open it up in Internet Explorer and it's completely messed up because Internet Explorer sucks. Or Edge or whatever you want to call it. Uh, yeah. There actually used to be. There's CSS, it's Cascading Style Sheet, and it's basically like all the instructions that the browser needs to be able to put the page together. And like colors and looks and layout and things like that. And web development or website developers used to actually have to create, and I don't know if it's still a thing, but I know it was way back, had to actually create separate styles for Internet Explorer because it was special.
Water is wet. Internet Explorer sucks. You know the drill.
So anyway, okay, so Firefox. Why Firefox?
I
Any
don't know.
particular reason?
Actually, I don't know because I've actually used it since I even remember using a web browser. No, that's
See,
not true. But it's almost true.
well,
So
okay.
close enough.
So I started with AOL Online. Save us all. And then I moved to Internet Explorer because I didn't know any better. And then I think I moved to Firefox. And now I'm on Chrome as my primary browser. For whatever reason. I used Firefox for a long time, but I switched to Chrome now. I don't know why, because I did. Anyway, and then I used Safari for a while on my Mac, but now I use Chrome on my Mac. So I like the syncing functionality. Well, I guess Firefox has that too, where you can like sync your browser across multiple devices, and so like all of your history, all of your favorites, all that stuff just moves with you. So that's actually a really nice feature. Anyway, this might be enough to make you switch to Chrome, Zach.
Nope. Sorry.
No?
But it is a
Okay.
good feature. I'll say that.
Okay, so the newest version of Chrome, which my Chrome is being dumb right now, and it won't, like, I check for updates and it just, like, fails. So I don't know if that's because I've got other stuff going on right at the moment. Anyway, so the new version of Chrome that was just released has some new interesting features built into it. But one of my favorite features is instead of mute tab, which was only a temporary thing, they have now changed it to mute website. Or, yeah, that's like mute website or, yeah, mute site. That's what it is. And basically what it allows you to do, you go to some website. Quick, Zach, what is the most annoying website you can think of for auto-playing videos?
I don't know. I don't go on them.
How about CNET? CNET always seems to have, you click on an article.
All right, fine.
Video
Screw
starts
them.
playing. Anyway, so what you can do now is you go to that website, video starts playing, you literally right-click on the tab, and you go down to mute site, and it mutes it forever until you unmute it. But if they've got, auto-playing videos, then why would you unmute it? I
This
mean,
is an amazing feature. I can't even tell you how great that is.
Okay, so you say it's an amazing feature, but why aren't you like? Is that not worth the benefit to switch?
Why would I want to switch an entire browser just for that feature?
Because it's a great feature.
Yeah.
I
I don't run into that often, okay? It's just really irritating when you...
It is really irritating, but for somebody like myself, who is constantly on, well, we get a lot of our topics from The Verge. That's where we mainly get them. But I also scour through CNET, so if I don't have to listen to auto-playing videos, that's kind of nice. So, anyway. But yeah, so there's a screen capture here. So this is what it looks like. So you right-click on it. You see mute site right there. You click on that, and it's literally as simple as just, yeah, hitting it. And then, like I said, the best part is it remembers it. So when you go to that website next time, it is still, there. And you don't have to worry about remembering to do that again. So, anyway.
Well, it would be pretty useless if it didn't remember it.
Yeah. So, and I think the current one right now, I don't know, because I haven't played with, I think it just mutes the tab for, like, your current session. And then once you close it, it, like, doesn't remember it, I think. I haven't really used it that much. Some of the new features also include HDR support. That's now available in Chrome 64. But you must have, there's a few provisions. Well, okay, first off, let's do this. What exactly is HDR, I guess? Because is that like all the reality stuff?
It's been long enough since I've shopped for a monitor that I don't even know. Like, it's just never been high on my list of priorities. In fact, it's never existed on my list of priorities. I don't know what it does. It's something to do with, it's called high dynamic range. That's all I know about it. Something to do with lighting or colors, or I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But it strikes me as kind of an overhyped novelty feature more than anything.
Okay. Where you get, like, the true blacks and, like, the really vivid, like, bright colors or whatever. Is that what it is?
Probably Google it. Let's see. This is called HDR. What is HDR? High Dynamic Range Imaging.
Anyway, so if you want to take advantage of
HDR images can represent a greater range of luminance levels. There you go.
Okay. Well, if you want to take advantage of it, you have to have the Fall Creators update installed.
And that is stupid.
You also must have.
Not sure if that's like actually a technical restriction or if they just decided to tack that on. Download our latest up.
I don't know. It also must be. You also must have a compatible monitor and a compatible graphics card. So, and as we've heard already, graphics cards are through the roof right now. So, yay!
It's really insane.
The new update also helps protect against Mac and Windows from Meltdown Inspector. However the heck it does that. So they're following other browsers by disabling shared array buffer features. That's what it is. That's what they're doing, which will mitigate against the attacks. So, anyway. So that's a step in the right direction for, trying to solve this big Spectre Meltdown crisis.
Well, to be fair, probably the most dangerous problem posed by this vulnerability was the part where it could be exploited through a web browser.
Yeah, that's true. Although, hasn't Java been a thing for a long time?
Yes.
So, anyway. Well, and Flash has been a thing for a long time, too. I think we talked about this, like, 2020, I think Flash is supposed to die, according to Adobe. I think it's 2020.
It should die sooner, honestly.
The problem is that a lot of things still rely on Flash, actually. So,
yep,
I think...
that's why it's
parts
of... take till 2020.
Well... See, I'm not sure if YouTube is fully using HTML5 now for everything, or...
well, if it isn't, you have to specifically tell it to use Flash for it to use Flash.
Yeah, I think you're right. At one point in time, at one point in time, I think like a couple years ago, I could be wrong on this, but anyway, I think it was like defaulted to Flash, but if you wanted, you could like start using HTML5, I think. I don't know what they're using now, but anyway, HTML5 is very, very cool, though. It allows you to do a lot more multimedia stuff with it, I think. So, anyway. But yeah, sweet new feature in Google Chrome that I can't wait to have. So, and I think Firefox is working on something, but I could be wrong. I thought I heard they were. Anyway. Alright. Moving on to our next topic here. So, Zach, you don't have an iPhone.
No.
And do I tell you this or not? Well, I will care. Because your words, it's probably not likely to happen until it does, and then it would be hilarious. But anyway, so let's say we actually manage to figure out how to make money as TechBeam Media and actually like have a legitimate company. So, one thing...
Well, that's kind of crazy. I'll believe it when I see it.
Exactly. See, I knew he was going to go this route. Anyway, so, if that ends up happening, right, I am prepared for me, you, and Joe, you know, as kind of the main, you know, people, to get separate phones for work purposes. So, like a work phone, basically.
Are you mad?
Why would I be mad? Why would it be a bad idea?
I just don't think. Whatever.
Anyway,
you can keep dreaming, I guess.
See, this is why you have no like.
Just trying to be realistic is all.
You are trying to be realistic, but
that's why I said I'll believe it when I see it. But
okay, fine. The thing is, right,
I'm not touching an iPhone even if you give it to me for free. That's all I'm telling you. You could give it to me for free. You could pay me to use it, and I wouldn't.
This is what we were talking about. So you'll be happy to know that I've already determined what devices, not specific brand, but what devices will be, or what operating system they'll be running.
Oh, well, that's fantastic.
BlackBerry. No, I'm just kidding. Does BlackBerry still have phones? I don't know. I think they do.
Genuinely do not know. Which
I
probably
can't
tells
remember.
you enough about the state of BlackBerry.
I think if they still have phones, I think they're running on Android now. I think. I could be wrong. Anyway, no, don't worry. We would be getting Android-based devices. So.
Oh, isn't that fantastic?
And you know what? Even from the beginning, when I had this idea, I was like, no, we're going with Android devices. Now here's the thing, though. Me and Joe were talking about this, and I did mention that it would be super funny if we got you an iPhone.
Yeah, it'd be funny until I gave it back to you and refused to use it.
Yeah. Anyway, it would have been a game thing.
I bet iPhones are worth a considerable amount on eBay, you know?
Especially new ones. No,
new one, barely even been touched.
No, like I said, we would probably go with some Android. Well, we would go with Android-based devices, just because. Anyway, so not to mention, like on the security side of things, like for like management of them, if I wanted to do that, it's so much easier on Android devices than it is on Apple devices. So, anyway. Yeah. So, here's something that Apple just recently introduced that Android has been doing for a while. It's called AML, Advanced Mobile Location. Do you know what that is?
Nope.
So, basically, it automatically sends emergency services your location when you call them.
Oh, okay. That
Uh,
sounds maybe
now,
useful.
before I read the article, I thought that this was something new that Apple was starting to do, but apparently it's already a thing on the Android side of things.
Oh, but Apple invented it. What are you talking about?
But for, well, I think for a while now, I thought at least that, like, emergency services could figure out your location based off the GPS chip in your phone. But I think, so if that's true, that I think that this is just like a more advanced version of it. Well, yeah, advanced mobile location. Anyway, so the new update that came out, 11.3, has this built in. Oh, here's the best part though. It's not supported in the US. I don't know if it's just like a technical thing where it hasn't been all worked out yet or what, but it works in the UK, Belgium, New Zealand, Sweden, Lithuania? Lithuania? I don't know where that is, or if I'm even pronouncing that correctly. And some parts of Lower Australia can take advantage. So the feature activates GPS and Wi-Fi services when somebody calls an emergency number and then sends a text with the caller's precise location to responders. So all Android phones running Gingerbread OS and higher support this right now. So, but the reason I put it in here, and this is what I want to talk about, is can this be exploited? That's what I'm curious about. Think about that for a second.
Is what?
Can this feature that's now built into the phones be exploited by outside sources?
Well, you said it's already been a thing, so
It's already been a thing, but
if all they're doing is building it into Apple devices, it probably.
well, I'm talking about the whole broad range of devices, no matter whether you're on an Android device or an iPhone, an iOS device.
Mm-hmm. It's possible.
So that's what that was where I was thinking with this topic was, what are the vulnerabilities with this, and like, is it something that can be exploited? Because think about it. If you can figure out how to exploit it, basically, like, pretty much somebody's precise location.
Yeah, that would be a little weird.
Yeah, kind of a scary thing. And here's the thing too, is I guess some dude like managed to figure out where somebody lived or where they were based off of like metadata in like their photos on like Instagram or something. That's not scary.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all, honestly.
It doesn't surprise me, but like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, hi. I don't know. Do you turn on... I love this in Google Chrome. So the first thing I do whenever I set up like a new Google Chrome device, or like Google Chrome on any new device, is I go in and I change a bunch of settings. And one of the settings that I turn off is send a do not track request to this website. And it always alerts me, and it's like, are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, yes, I'm sure I want to do this. I don't need you tracking me. Like, yeah. We talked about, privacy before. Like, yeah, I don't need you knowing exactly where I am. I don't know. So
I think that more refers to tracking what you're looking at online.
No, it tracks your location. It's location
probably both,
services.
actually.
Actually, it might be both. And I get the reasoning behind it. If you're searching for something, based off your location, it can provide suggestions, which is sometimes nice. But it's also one of those things where it's like, I don't exactly want you knowing where I am. There's only specific apps that I'll let do that. And usually it's for convenience. But I don't know. Interesting question. So I know I don't, because it's been a while since I've used an Android device, but at least on iOS devices, they call it location services, basically. And you have the option to turn them off, and it's basically the whole, tracking where I'm at thing. For me, I turn it off. So that's what I'm curious, is do you just leave it on or like, yeah, whatever, or do you like specifically make sure apps don't track your location?
I turn it off.
So,
because it's dumb.
Like I
I don't
said,
even know.
yeah, and that's how I feel too. Like I said, it's one of those things where it's like it's nice sometimes, other times, yeah, it's like no, you don't need to know where I am. So anyway, I don't know. I guess I thought there was going to be a little bit more to talk about on this topic right here, but that was my main thing was like what happens, can it be exploited, how soon will it be exploited, stuff like that. So anyway, shall we, well, hold on, let's do this first. Let's talk Microsoft. How's that sound? They haven't really done anything stupid or dumb this week, but something interesting. So since the release of Windows 10, something has been a major topic of debate when it comes to Windows 10. And we've talked about it many times on the show before. Do you know what I'm talking about, Zach?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay, enlighten the people.
Privacy.
Yes, privacy. Windows 10 loves to spy on you now. Yeah. Would you like us to spy?
It always did.
Well, yeah, okay. Hey, update to Windows 10. By the way, we're going to track everything you do on your computer.
By the way, you're getting this update whether you want it or not.
Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started on the automatic updates and automatic install. Don't install things on my machine without my permission. Thank you. Yeah. I don't get it. Like, hey, Microsoft, maybe there's a reason I didn't update. I didn't want it. But if you're Microsoft, you're just like, well, screw what the people want. We're just going to put it on there because, woo! I mean, I'm not wrong, am I?
Not really.
So, anyway. So this whole privacy debacle thing has been a thing ever since Windows 10 came out. I don't know if you remember this. We got into a discussion with one of our instructors, or not really discussion, but I have mentioned that Windows 10 spies on you, and I don't know if you remember, but the instructor said that it didn't. Do you remember this conversation?
No, I don't.
Anyway, yeah, so it was a conversation, but no, Windows 10 spies on you. Telemetry data. Woohoo! Anyway. France previously ordered Microsoft to actually stop tracking Windows 10 users. I don't know if that was...
I think there's a lot more evidence to say they do than there is to say they don't.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Wireshark.
The extent is kind of up in the air, I suppose.
Yeah. Now, okay, so with like the Fall Creators Update, because this has been a huge topic, Microsoft is like, okay, here's everything we collect. Although, I think we both know that they didn't tell us everything.
See, here's the problem, and with this thing as well, you know, it kind of gives me the whole feeling that, well, maybe you're not getting the whole story.
Yeah. So...
And given that Microsoft has kind of ruined their reputation as far as privacy is concerned with Windows 10, it might take a little bit to get that reputation back.
Right, yeah. So Microsoft tackles Windows 10 privacy concerns with new data collection viewer that they're releasing. If you are a Windows Insider, if you're part of the Windows Insider preview thing, I think you can get the tool right now. I think. But Microsoft is now disclosing what data... Microsoft disclosed what data it was collecting last year. And now they're going one step further with this new... basically... It basically looks like Wireshark is what it looks like. I don't know if you saw the picture of it. Oop, that's not
okay, well, how about this? How about give people the option to turn it off?
Yeah. I don't think they're going to do that yet. So this is what it looks like.
Well, that's an issue.
So it's called Diagnostics Data Viewer. And See, here's the problem with this. As I look at it, sure, it basically shows you what data is being sent back, but not in like a cut and dry way. Like census.hardware. And then,
Yeah, well, this is where somebody's probably going to write some software that is going to tell it to you in a cut and dry way.
yeah. So see, Microsoft is like, oh, hey, here's this wonderful tool that tells us what you're collecting, but you can't really make sense of it if you're an average person. Like, yeah, thanks,
Like
Microsoft.
I said, somebody's going to write some software for it, I bet.
I hope. I'm going to continue to use Spybot Anti-Beacon because, yeah, I should probably check and see if there's any updates for that right now. So, yeah. So it's available for testers this week. So that's the thing. If it's available for testers right now, maybe that means, like you said, somebody's going to rewrite, or write something that, like, takes this data and, like, presents it in a way that an average consumer can actually make sense of what's actually going on. Because right now, it looks like a bunch of XML files. Or, like, records. Stuff like that. Like version, name, time, and then a bunch of other random numbers, I guess. Now, okay, it is worth mentioning that Microsoft... So, yes, Microsoft collects data, but some of it is anonymous. But we've also talked about this in the past before. Your Windows license is... Or, your machine basically has, like, a machine ID number. And your... Windows license is kind of like attached to your name if you put that in there and stuff like that. So, and then they can also see what, Windows license key is attached to which machine. So, anyone with a basic knowledge of how a database works, relational databases and things. Yeah. So, anyway. So, even though it's anonymous, quote unquote, I think Microsoft can still kind of put the pieces back together. So, which means that they can then figure out how to serve ads to you, which in turn makes them money because people's data sells now. And so, yeah, and that's a wonderful thing. Let's see. So Microsoft collects a bunch of anonymous Windows 10 data from users to help improve the operating system and make product decisions. I guess I don't know how I feel about that. Where do you sit on that, Zach?
Make it stop, please.
Okay. So, here's my opinion on this. So, I do like... Well, okay. You know what they should do, though? And maybe you agree with me. Well, actually, I know you agree with me because you already said it. Give people the option to turn it off. So,
They probably don't like that because then everybody would turn it off.
well, see, Mac does it when you install Mac OS. It says, do you want to send Diagnostics data back to us? And they actually give you a bunch of checkboxes to check, and basically you can decide to turn everything off. Quote unquote everything. I don't know if Apple actually collects your data.
Well,
they
yeah, it
probably
would
do.
be nice if they would do that. You're right.
They probably do. But they give you that option. They're like, what do you want to send back to us? Things like that. See, Microsoft used to do that thing. Do you remember back in Windows XP when a program would crash, it would pop up a window that says, do you want to share this data with Microsoft?
Yep, I remember that.
And you had the option to actually say, no, I do not want to. That was an amazing feature. Where is that now? But yeah, so the viewer works like Wireshark, except for you actually, like I said, have to understand how to decode it. And Microsoft is now, get this, Microsoft is now being more transparent as possible.
Well, is that the truth? Who knows?
And it's clearly hoping that the new data collection viewer will silence any remaining concerns.
Well, here's the problem. Like I said, they've already kind of ruined their reputation.
They've ruined their reputation, And as I
And
stated,
like,
hold on,
who says that this is telling you everything?
that is
Mm,
true.
we
That
don't
is
know
true.
that.
Because Microsoft does not have the greatest record of, hey, cut and dry, this is it. Things like that. And see, here's the other problem with that. They say they're being they're being as transparent as possible. If you were being as transparent as possible, then we wouldn't have had that conversation about somebody writing something to decode what this is saying. It would have been cut and
Well, no, no,
dry.
no. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean,
Okay.
if all the
Okay.
information is there, then that's fine. Like, that's transparency.
Okay.
Even if
The
it
information is there, but they're still being sneaky. See, this is the way I see it. They're still being sneaky in a way because how many people are going to actually be able to figure it out? They're going to say, I don't know what this is, and they're just going to forget about it.
I think anyone who cares can probably find a way to find out what's in there. If that means downloading some software, or if that means just looking up how to tell.
Right.
Mm.
I don't know. I think it's kind of this, hey, here's something to get people to hopefully be quiet about this. But like I said, I feel like they could have done a lot better job on that, where they could have been a lot more
I wouldn't even be
transparent.
surprised if that was a feature that was like in a like developer build of Windows 10 and they just turned it.
What do you mean?
I wouldn't be surprised if this feature was built into like a developer version of Windows 10 and they just turned it on for everybody else because they thought everybody else might like it.
I guess I don't know. See, this is the
It
problem.
would also explain the kind of, as you say, what's the word? Complicated nature of the presentation.
Well, see, it looks like a bunch of XML records, basically. If you create an XML file, it kind of looks like that. So, I don't know. And maybe see, okay, as I look at it more, like, here's the thing about this, right? So, it's telling you stuff about, like, hardware in this current one that's up right here. So, okay, I guess it does tell you the time. I'm sure there's some kind of decoder key for some of these things. Chassis type, digitizer support, gyroscope, things like that. So, I don't know. Maybe it actually is showing you a decent amount of information in here.
I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they were being truthful and that was all the information. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know.
I just think for an average consumer, they could have done a better job of simplifying it. I don't know, and maybe this graphic right here is a bad representation of this, but that is my opinion.
If that's what you're going to expect from using it, then yeah, I think that's a reasonable representation.
Exactly. See,
if that's what you're going to get when you use it.
See, here's my thing, okay? So if I'm going to be using it right, because I want to see what's going back to Microsoft, then I want to see, hey, we collected such and such data about such and such thing at such and such time.
It would just be nice if they would also give you the
back.
opportunity to turn it off. Don't collect that anymore.
Exactly. And I was just about to say that. Where is that option?
It's nice to know, but at the same time...
Yeah, it's nice to know, but here's the other problem.
Is it nice to know if you can't do anything about it?
See, I'm thinking what Microsoft is thinking is they're like, hey, we're going to tell you what we're collecting. Wait, hang on. We're going to, quote-unquote, tell you what we're collecting. I don't know. Maybe they really are actually telling us everything, but Microsoft doesn't have the best track record, as we've already stated. And so, where was I going with this? I totally, I had a point, and then I totally forgot where I was going with this. Anyway, it comes back to that whole, okay, it's nice to know, basically reiterating, it's nice to know what it is that is being collected, but you're right. What's the point of knowing about it if I can't do anything about it? Oh, I know where I was going. So I'm thinking that Microsoft might be thinking right now, hey, we still want that data because we can sell that data and make money off of it. But we're hoping that by telling people what we're actually collecting, or quote-unquote collecting, whichever one it is, that it'll make them stop bothering us. I don't know. What do you think? I, for one,
Perhaps.
am totally with you on the give me the darn option to turn it off.
Maybe that's what's gonna happen. Maybe people will still bug them about it, and maybe they'll finally give it to you.
I
Maybe
hope.
they won't, just because they make so much money off of it.
I hope. And yeah, so I think if Microsoft wants to collect data on you, I think there are other avenues where they can do it besides your desktop. That's my opinion. So, I don't know. Would it be nice to see a... Excuse me. Would it be nice to see an option to turn it off? Yes. Yes, it would. So, here's a statement. The Diagnostics data includes device connectivity, peripherals, configuration options, performance data, movie consumption, installed apps, and a lot more. Ooh, there's that wonderful and a lot more. Windows 10 users who want this granular level of detail will be able to filter it and inspect the contents. It's a lot more transparent than Microsoft publishing documents and hoping to ease concerns. Okay, I guess that's true. Instead of just telling us, here's what we collect, now you can actually kind of see it. Some of the stuff I don't quite agree with, though. Why do you need to know what peripherals are connected to my device?
Good question.
Why do you need to know what movies
There
I'm
may be a
watching?
legit reason, but okay, yeah, that one, nah, get out of here.
Why do you need to know my configuration options? Okay. I can see
I could
this.
actually see that one maybe being a legitimate concern.
And that's
for
what
them.
I was. Now that I think about it, right? Okay, so peripherals, configuration options, performance data. Okay, I guess if they're going with the whole, we want that data so we can make my Windows 10 better, I can see that, I guess. But why do you need to know what movie consumption, like my movie consumption? Installed apps, I'm on the fence a little bit about.
I don't like that one.
You do or you don't?
There's not really any great reason for them to need to know that.
And then the very vague and a lot more.
I guess I could be wrong about the installed apps. Maybe there's a legitimate reason. I don't know.
Maybe there is a legitimate reason, but I don't know if there actually is. Anyway, so you're right though. Bottom line, give me an option to turn it off. Give me an option to turn it off. So, anyway. All right, Zach, you are up.
I'm up, huh?
You are up. This is your topic to talk about.
Well, imagine an 8th gen Intel processor with an onboard Vega graphics. What do you think of that?
What do I think of it? I think that this is awesome. From the little bit that I read. Now, hold on. Let me ask this question real quick, though. How did how did Intel and AMD get along long enough for this to actually be a thing?
I think they get along out of their mutual dislike of NVIDIA. They both don't like NVIDIA, so they're like, well, okay, fine.
Okay.
But in any case,
well, hold on.
Vega graphics and 8th gen core processors.
So let me say this. Wait, okay, 8th gen core Oh, I guess you're right.
According to the article, that's what it says. Yeah.
Here's the thing. So, wait, what happened to all the talk about the 8th gen processor? I've heard talk about the 9th gen.
I think this is a separate product. There's the 8th gen processor, and then there's going to be this product, which also includes Vega graphics.
Right,
and an 8th gen processor, and then this is going to be bought in like a laptop. You can buy a laptop, and this will be in it. Right.
Okay, so hang on. Let me give you my opinion on that in a second. But let me ask you this, and that is and maybe I'm just because I'm more on the software side of things and not the hardware side, but I don't remember there being a lot of talk about Intel's 8th generation processors. I just remember them going straight to like 9th gen. Am I wrong on that?
I mean, I think they have 6 cores now, so you know that's cool.
Yeah, Ryzen is still a better buy right at the moment, though. Or am I wrong?
Mean,
or am I wrong?
It's kind of up in the air. It depends what you're doing. You know, if you ask me, ignore the branding and buy the best product for what you want to do with it.
And see, that's the way that you look at these things. But of course, you've got fanboys and fangirls.
Yeah,
Let's not be sexist here.
Whatever.
Anyway, okay, so here's my opinion on
So does
this,
every
right?
industry.
So from what I read, right? So you're getting a processor, right? And you're also getting onboard graphics on that processor, but better than like normal onboard graphics.
No, this is a separate chip.
Oh, it's a separate chip?
You see in this picture, there is a very large package, much larger than at your average CPU. And that's because, I'm not sure which is which, but one of those is the GPU.
Now this
and
is
it's like
one
a
chip.
full GPU. This is no onboard trash GPU.
Oh,
this is
okay.
a good GPU.
So let me get this straight. So this is all built into one chip right here, though.
No, this is onto one package, meaning that, well, it will kind of function as if it were one chip, I suppose.
But like it's all okay. Maybe a better term is it's all on one die.
Is it? I don't think that's one die either. No, it's on one PCB.
Okay. Well, okay, so I've got my terminology wrong, but like literally, you buy this thing and you pop it in as.
You don't buy this thing. You buy a laptop that has this
or you
thing
buy okay. Because okay,
you
so it's for the
you're
mobile
not
platform.
Be able to buy this thing.
It's for the mobile platform.
Yes, this is for a laptop.
Okay, the point I'm trying to get is
what's
though,
interesting about this is, I'm not really interested in how this thing performs. Like, that's kind of a known quantity.
You're intrigued
Vega has
by the
existed
idea
on the market for some time, but here's the thing: in notebook GPUs, AMD has been nearly non-existent for a long time, and
now they're making a comeback.
This is an AMD mobile GPU.
So,
it could kind of serve to unseat NVIDIA's dominance a little bit, or at least give them a little something to think about.
Interesting.
I don't think this will challenge 1070s and 1080 equipped notebooks, but it will definitely be better than anything they've had in the past, provided this technology works.
Sweet. Okay, so here's my question, though. This whole thing is like one piece, basically. At least that's what it looks like. Where it's got like the processor on one part of it, and it's got the GPU on the other part of it. Or am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay, that's the point that I was trying to get at. It looked like it was one solid piece.
You see this? Do you see the picture? It's
not... I've had the graphic up on the screen for like at least 2-3 minutes now.
Well, I don't see that, so
I know.
I don't know. But yeah, this is...
You should really have like the show up in the background so you can actually see what's going on.
I don't need it. I've never had it. I don't need it.
It would be great because we've got a story at the end of the show that I want to share, which is super hilarious. So, anyway, and there's a video that goes along with it. So, yeah. So if you actually had the stream up, then you'd actually be able to see it. Anyway, I have no notes on this, so continue on, I guess.
To be honest, that was kind of all I had. I mean, I'm just kind of interested in what the market impact of this might be. That's all. Other than that, it's just kind of a cut down Vega GPU.
Do I have any cool graphics?
Looks like it will probably perform somewhere in the range of the 1060.
In the range of a 1060?
Yeah. The higher end one will probably perform around the 1060 mark. Though one thing to note is only 4 gigs of memory. That's a little bit not so good.
Yeah.
Lower end one has 4 gigabytes as well, though. That's interesting.
I mean, I guess
Vega MGH and GL with H being the higher end one.
I guess there's only so much space to cram stuff into it, though, which makes sense. Now, one of the cool
Say what?
things about there's only so much space to cram, everything you need into it, I guess.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, if you take the big fan and cooler off of a GPU, like a proper graphics card, it's not much different than that.
You're right. That's where the bulk of a graphics card comes from, is from the cooler.
The chip itself is the same size. It's the same thing, pretty much.
Okay.
So
Interesting. One thing I do like about this, though, is it's going to kind of revolutionize, I think, like, mobile gaming a little bit.
well, I mean, mobile gaming is already plenty a thing with.
That is
You can
true.
buy laptops with full 10 series NVIDIA GPUs in there, but I'm more talking about, you see, if this performs well and is price competitive,
Oh, it helps the market.
prices of the it does, because NVIDIA won't be the only one selling mobile GPUs that are actually worth something.
You're right.
Anymore.
You are right. And AMD's kind of making a comeback right now, with the Threadripper and Ryzen, and now this product right here. The other thing I read in the article, though, was that this is going to allow for possibly thinner devices as well, which is
And the reason for that is because of, I believe it's because of the cooling solutions. Actually, you don't need, like, the cooling. Like a heatsink for this thing can just go on to this package, right? You don't have to have one heatsink for a GPU over here and then one heatsink for a CPU.
And I think the highest TDP that I saw for it in the article was like 45 watts.
These
Which,
are low
I guess,
wattage. And they have to be, because they're going in laptops.
That's true. I guess I don't know where that sits in comparison to what's on the market right now. But anyway.
According to this chart, a GTX 1060 6GB is 120 watts. However, I believe that refers to the desktop version. Strangely, the 1063GB is listed at 185 watts.
I guess I don't know. I don't know hardware. Don't really know hardware.
Either someone made a typo or there's a reason for that.
All right, let's move on then. Hold on, let me get my stuff in order here. Net neutrality. Let's talk about net neutrality.
I think this one is great.
Do you?
I really do.
Well, there's two parts to this. So, we talked last week about how 22 attorneys generals basically are trying to figure out some giant lawsuit to bring back net neutrality and reverse the ruling by the FCC. Now New York's governor has signed an executive order to keep net neutrality rules after the FCC's repeal. So this was done by New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. He signed the executive order, and it requires internet service providers with state contracts to abide by the net neutrality rules.
I don't know this guy, but I like him already.
See, here's the only problem with this, though. The FCC specifically included a provision blocking states from passing their own rules. Yay. So, this means that states will probably be looking at some legal challenges.
Well, hopefully the legal challenges go well for net neutrality then, huh?
Hopefully. So on Monday, Montana's governor also signed a very similar order. So yeah, but according to the order, any service provider receiving or renewing a contract after March 1st in New York will be required to sign an agreement saying they will adhere to net neutrality principles. Major companies, including Verizon and AT&T, have signed contracts with the state. So, I guess this one is kind of, to me, with that whole... At first, I was like, yay, this is awesome. But now that I understand that there was that provision set by the FCC that was like, hey, you basically can't make your own rules, because
Basically,
screw
they
you.
knew that people who aren't fans of cable companies would try to maybe prevent this from going away, and so they were like, well, nope.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so they were like, screw you. So it's great that the states want to do this, but we have the legal challenges part of it, which.
Well, it seems
Whoa.
I'm no politics expert, but I'm willing to
No, I'm
bet
not
that if
either.
enough states were trying to do things like this, something might happen. I don't know.
See, here's
Something
the
could happen.
thing.
Maybe.
So, really, the way I see it, I know nothing about politics, I know nothing about the law, but the way I see it, I think there's only really two options. Either A, some lawsuit comes and whatever division, whether that's the Supreme Court or and I don't even know who would handle that, but whoever decides the ruling on that, hopefully they side with the pro net neutrality side and not the, no net neutrality side. So, and honestly, I think that's really what it's going to come down to, because the other option is for Congress to decide, hey, let's write a bill that says we're going to keep net neutrality, right? Well,
It could happen, actually. I mean,
but see, we talked
once
about
the
this last
current
week.
holders of office are no longer holders of office,
That's
could happen.
true. That is true. So, and see, that's the problem, where it has to not only be passed in the House, but it also has to be passed in the Senate, or the Senate and then the House. I don't remember which one is first. Anyway, it has to be passed in both, and then it has to be passed by the president, who, as we talked about last week, is kind of the reason why net neutrality doesn't exist right now, or is going away. So that's not likely. It then can go back to Congress, and if I think it's 3/4 of either the House or the Senate, I obviously was not paying attention during government class, but if one of those parties, I think it's 3/4, I think, votes to keep it, then it actually can be signed into law. So, yeah, checks and balances are awesome sometimes, and other times they're not. So anyway, something that not interested me, but I thought was, well, surprised me. Let's put it that way. See, when I saw this, I was like, what? AT&T CEO penned an open letter calling for net neutrality laws to cover both ISPs and web companies. But that was the interesting thing.
Seems to me more like, without reading much into it, it seems to me like something that, well, if you're going to take us down, we're taking down these people with us.
Okay. I guess what got me was the fact that the head of an ISP actually was like, hey, let's kind of sort of keep net neutrality. Kind of, sort of. But AT&T has taken out, get this, full-page ads in newspapers like the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, calling for a net neutrality law that would govern both ISPs and web companies like Facebook and Twitter. Here's the problem, though. So, the open letter from AT&T CEO Randall Stevenson states that an Internet Bill of Rights would help to guarantee neutrality and transparency, and that congressional action is needed to ensure consistent rules for all internet companies. Legislation would not only ensure consumers' rights are protected, but it would provide consistent rules of the road for all internet companies across all websites, content, devices, and applications, Stevenson wrote. Internet companies. When I think internet companies, I think ISPs. I don't think Facebook and Twitter. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think of ISPs separately.
See, that's what I thought too. And so Facebook and Twitter are kind of like, no. Like, why are we a part of this? They're... Well, I don't know if they publicly said it, but in the article it basically was like, sure, Facebook and Twitter like collect your data, but they only collect that data when you're going to those sites. And that's one of the things about net neutrality is what can be collected, I think. I don't remember exactly. I think that was part of that. Anyway, so they're and that's the thing too. They both do different things because like why would Facebook or Twitter intentionally slow your connection to their site? Because they can't slow your connection to other sites. And that's one of the big things about net neutrality is, no throttling and things like that. So now AT&T does say, whether this is true or not, says that they are not interested in blocking or throttling sites, but they didn't address anything about paid fast lanes.
Probably because they love the idea.
Okay, so here's the thing though. If paid fast lanes exist, is that really net neutrality? If paid fast lanes exist, is it really net neutrality?
Nope.
No.
That is an absolute no.
No. Because the idea of net neutrality is that regardless of what site you are, there are no slowdowns. So, how can they say that they're not going to... Well, okay. I guess they're not throttling sites per se, because they're not slowing them down, but they are giving other companies the option to pay for a fast lane to...
It's garbage. It should never
It
be.
is garbage. Here's the thing I'm wondering, though. Well, not wondering, but... I guess I don't know where I stand on this, and so let me run this by you and see what you think. And that is that, okay, so let's say they don't throttle any specific sites, right? Okay, great. You're not throttling sites. You're not blocking sites. They're allowing for paid fast lanes. So, I guess my question is then is... Because, okay, technically it's not net neutrality at that point.
No, it's not.
See, this is what I'm trying to wrap my head around. Because I'm somewhat... Don't get me wrong. Like, net neutrality just needs to stay a thing. But, like, okay, so if you have the money to spend for a faster pipe... Like...
Yeah, but here's the problem. It's at the expense of everyone else.
That's a good point. Yeah, okay, good point. See, and that's what I'm thinking. Like... You're right. So Netflix wants a faster pipe, right?
Not only that, but I mean, I wouldn't be
consumers are the ones who are
surprised to
paying
see
for it.
ISPs do sketchy things like maybe intentionally slowing down company XYZ's data to kind of bully them into paying.
Yeah.
That totally doesn't
Because
that
they
totally
can
sound
say-
like the sort of evil thing an ISP would do?
Yeah, they can totally say that they're not going to do one thing, but without
Well,
the net neutrality
yeah,
rules
but
being in
how much
place...
is their word worth?
Exactly, but that's what I was
about
saying.
2
Without the
cents.
net neutrality rules in place, they're going to just do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
and
why
they
they need
can.
to be there.
That's the worst part. Now it's legal.
Now it's legal.
Now you can't even sue them for it.
Um,
Awesome, right?
The letter was not meant
Not
to
that
be
suing them would
comprehensive.
really do much.
In an email to The Verge, AT&T walked right up to the line of outright stating that it supported paid fast lanes. The company spokesperson said that a higher level of internet performance is required for new technologies like augmented reality to work, and that Congress should take this into consideration when writing its law.
Well, of course they support it because they'll make money if it's a thing.
And their argument is going to be that there's more bandwidth being taken up there, so there needs to be more cash flow coming in to keep up with it. Even though we all know that the infrastructure is more than capable of handling it. So, I don't know. Unless ISPs, and we both know this isn't going to happen, but unless ISPs want to take all the extra money that they're going to be getting and upgrade all their infrastructures to fiber to the house. But we know that's not going to happen.
Ha! That's a good joke. That's a good joke.
It is a good joke. It would be awesome though, but we all know it's not going to happen.
2018, fiber, in your dreams.
I have fiber.
Yeah. Whatever. You're the minority. Tell that to everybody. Tell that to the rest of the country who doesn't have fiber.
Some places do. Google Fiber is becoming a thing now.
Most of the rest of the country who doesn't have fiber, though.
I also have a local, co-op who says that they're not going to, and I actually do agree with them on this because I think they would alienate themselves if they do. Who says that they're not going to throttle websites? They don't plan on changing anything. So,
Yeah.
I'm happy over here.
It would be smart of them not to change anything.
It would be smart of them not to change anything. Because, especially since people in our area, even though, CLTel is a co-op in this area and available, people still have things like, I don't know if we have CenturyLink over
Media
here.
crap.
Yeah, but there are people who have media crap here. And here's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know why they would want it.
Here's the thing. So if net neutrality actually goes away, rip net neutrality, and so you've got, you're still paying the same or paying more for a slower connection now because they can do that, or they create, Mediacom creates some, cable subscription kind of service for your internet. It would be smart for CLTel to just not do those things, because the idea is that the people who have Mediacom are going to get fed up with that and just say, screw it, I can get, CLTel and not have this crap.
Well, honestly, I don't. If I had the choice between media crap and any co-op, please ditch the cable company. No, I don't want the cable company anymore. I don't know why that's even a choice. Like, unless these people insist on having cable TV or something, I don't understand. I really just don't understand.
But see, here's the thing. CLTel has like all the same channels.
Oh, they have TV as well?
Yeah, it's a local co-op. TV, phone, internet, and security.
See, all I'm thinking of is internet here. I don't know anything about buying a TV package. Sorry, but if they do, then yeah, in that case, what is even the point? Why would you ever want to stick with trash cable company?
It
makes no sense to me then.
Because it's probably somewhat a little bit cheaper.
Is it though?
Ooh, that's a good
Probably
question.
have a much more reliable connection. Like,
that is.
I spend much time dealing with frustrations related to Mediacom.
I don't know. People may be misinformed. That could be part of it.
That's possible.
I don't know if we're actually going to get prices here.
You probably won't.
So Lightstream, internet, TV.
Nah, you definitely won't.
I don't know.
100%, you're not getting any prices.
I think our monthly bill is like somewhere around $100 a month for everything that we get. Business solutions, internet FAQ, tech support, about us. Yeah, I don't actually. Service catalog. I don't know. Oh yeah, the like town that's like a couple. What is it? Oh, I'm gonna do this. Put us up in the corner there. The internet company, or CLTel also has like VTel, which is for Ventura, which is like the next town over. So they also have a small co-op over there as well.
Lucky them.
Right. I wonder if I will get. That is not right. Apparently, I can't spell Mediacom. Mediacom. Let's see here. Start shopping. Internet. First month free internet for a limited time. First month of internet free on all packages. 100 megabits per second. Whoop-de-doo. To 1 gig. Prices start as low as $59.99 per month for 1 year. Let's see here. Well, there's extreme and there's internet. Let's just check the internet real quick here. Find your speed. Speeds you won't believe. Internet 60. Okay, so their lowest option starts at 60 megs down. Oh gosh, do you
60 megabits?
60 down? Guess
or
what your
$60?
No, 60 gigs or megabits. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's
Except here's the problem: is that having personally dealt with them myself, good luck getting 60 megabits. Ugh.
Right?
It's bad. It's really bad.
Do you want to know what the upload speed is?
They give you a real crap. They give you a real piece of work, and call it a modem slash access point slash router slash one of those things, right? They give you one of those. It's bad news. It's real bad news.
Oops.
Can't even tell you how bad news it is.
Let's see here. Let's see if I can get a price quote. You want to know what the upload speed was, though?
Oh, it's probably less than 10.
Oh, yes. It is less than 10. 5.
Oh, yes.
5.
Of course it is.
5 megs
5?
up.
That's honestly just a joke.
That's garbage.
That's garbage.
Where would you like to receive service? Well, I don't want to receive service. I just want to know what your rates are. Oh, okay. $39.99 per month. That's up to 60 megs. If I wanted a... Let's see. Oh, local plus TV plus the internet. $49.98. And I'm sure that's like only the... Okay, 100 plus channels, including your local channels. Download speeds of up to 60 megabits per second. Upload speeds of up to 5 megabits per second. Oh, yeah, this is the other thing we have to get into. Data caps. 400 gigabyte monthly usage allowance.
Yeah, that's probably the most atrocious thing on that you just talked about. That's horrible.
I have no data caps.
Yeah, it must be nice.
It is nice. It is awesome. It is quite awesome. Yeah, so our lowest... Oh, okay, here we go with the CLTEL stuff here. So, I don't actually have prices on these, but so we actually have the individual 1 to 3 connected devices. I have way more than that, but 50 down, 25 up. We also have, now the next step up is 100 down, 50 up. We go to 250 and 125 up, 500 down, 250 up, and 1 gig down, 500 up.
Welcome to the current year, where that's possible. Mediacom and other cable companies, they live in the previous decade, perhaps we'll say.
Yeah. 1 gig, 500 up. Oh man, that would be awesome. But I don't want to spend like an extra $100 a month for that. It's not cheap. Does not come cheap. But the point is that I can get it if I want it. I mean, I guess you can get it with let's see here. let's go back here. Let's figure this out. I'm curious to see what it would cost to get a gig from Mediacom.
It's probably not a thing, honestly.
Nope. There is 1 gig here, up to 1,000 megabits. So okay, so their gigabit option is exactly the same as CLTel's. 1 gig down, 500 up. Let's see what this is going to cost me if I was going to do this. Not to mention, this is also over cable, not fiber. At least I think it's over cable.
Is gigabit over cable even a thing? I'm not entirely sure that's even a thing.
Is it?
So it
I guess I
probably
don't
is
know.
fiber. I might be wrong as well.
Ooh,
But
that's interesting.
In any case, I think that's not a thing over cable.
Actually, it looks like I might not even, in this area, might not even be able to get a gigabit connection. I think the fastest I can get is 100 megs down off of Mediacom. And if I wanted to do that, let's see, Extreme 100 silver, that's going to be almost $100 a month. $99.98. 1,000 gigabytes monthly usage allowance.
What? Here we go again with the data caps.
Get
out of here.
Oh,
Get out of here.
Okay.
This isn't a cell phone plan.
I'm
Get
sorry.
Out of here
I'm sorry. It comes with TV, internet, and phone. Okay. So it's...
So basically, it comes with 1 useful thing and 2 mostly useless things. God.
Mostly useless things.
Yeah, because in some cases, having a landline is maybe...
Okay. If you just wanted the internet, it's going to cost you $60 a month. That's, like, insane.
Yep. Sure is.
Oh, man. I really wish ISPs would, like, figure it out.
I wish they would just go bankrupt.
Right? Yeah. That's one thing about, like, Iowa. Like, there's a lot of these small towns have these little co-ops. Like, we have CLTel. Forest City has WCTA Tel. I think some of the other small ones have their own ISPs, like local co-op ISPs. So, anyway. And honestly, it'd be great to see a lot more, co-ops start to pop up. But anyway. All right. We've been on for almost an hour and a half, so let's finish this show up this week here before... Yeah, anyway. All right. I think this is hilarious. Okay? So a man at a Chinese electronics store decided he was going to give a battery his own test by biting into it.
By doing what?
By biting into it. Literally like a bar of chocolate. Like, took the battery, put it in his mouth, bit down.
Not very smart.
Yeah, so what do you think happened?
Not good things.
No, not good things at all. The battery ruptured, causing a small explosion. The scene was captured by... See, this is where it would help if you had the live stream up right now. The scene was captured by the store's CCTV system and later uploaded to a popular Chinese video sharing site. Very similar to the now dead Vine.
Somebody probably did not take kindly to the video being uploaded.
According to Taiwan News, the man was in the store on January 19th to replace the battery in his iPhone. Remember, we talked about that? The man looked closely at the battery, then to test if it was real. He bit down on it.
Oh, yeah, that's
triggering,
less than smart.
Yeah, triggering the explosion. Even though the explosion was inches from the man's face, he did not suffer any injuries.
Wow.
Also, other onlookers.
Lucky, then.
I know. Also, other onlookers that were in the store at the time were unharmed as well. It's true that faulty and counterfeit batteries sometimes explode or simply overheat. Unfortunately, we don't know if the explosion was actually due to the fact that it was like a crummy battery or if he damaged it when he bit into it. I'm going to go with he damaged it when he bit into it.
Yeah, so am I.
But anyway, here, let me just... So, here he is. He's standing at the counter. And then you just see this huge explosion. And there's like
Probably was not very huge if it didn't really hurt
although
him
there's
too
a
bad.
there's a lady like standing at the other side of him, and you just see her like fly back because it heads towards her, basically. Anyway, you know what? I'm curious actually. Because you didn't see the video, did you?
No.
Give me a second here. I want to get your take on this. Hold on. Let me... Here we go. There you go. Okay. Go ahead and watch that real quick and let me know what you think.
You sent me an MP4. What?
Yeah, that's a video file, dude.
Why not just a link? Oh, ouch. Oh, okay. What an idiot.
It's quite the scene, you have to admit.
What an
Like,
idiot.
boom! Oh, man. Well, the guy's like, oh, well, it was real, I guess. Maybe. I don't know, actually.
Does a real battery explode? I'm gonna go with probably yes if you bite down.
I know, and then you see all the other people in the store, like, take a step back. Like, oh, hey, what the heck? Although, I do have to say, that looks like a sweet electronics store, kind of. You see all the monitors, just, like, sitting on the, like, counter there? Anyway. Like, aren't, like, foreign countries, like, Taiwan and China and things like that supposed to have, like, really awesome, like, electronic stores?
Don't know, never been there.
We should take a trip. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have money for that. That'd be awesome if we did, though. Some company wants to sponsor
I'm not a
video.
traveler, sorry.
Even if a company...
I'm not a traveler.
Well, no. Even if, like, a company, like,
I'm not a traveler.
paid us. No? Okay, fine. How about this? Somehow, magically, we manage to get a company...
No. Oh, no. Here we go again. Here we go again.
Somehow, magically, we get some company to sponsor us to go out to CES. Do you go or not? Fully paid, all expenses. Would you go? Come on, dude.
Doesn't really seem like a choice then, because you're gonna make me go, I'm sure.
Dude, it's CES.
I don't think it'll ever happen. Though. You know it won't ever happen.
Okay, and when it does, you're gonna be like, "Holy crap! It actually happened! I don't believe it."
No. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, all right. Well, see, I believe you have to dream big, but I also am being realistic. I mean, I'm not fully, like, committing all my time to this whole project right here. But anyway, I think you have to go out and, you know, get what you want, kind of ish. But anyway, yeah. Well, regardless of all that, I'm going to call it a show for this week because we've been on for way too long. If you enjoyed it, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Get subscribed below if you haven't done that already. Turn on the bell for notifications so you get notified whenever we upload a brand new video. Hopefully some new content coming to the channel soon, like main content. Yeah. I think we have a few items to review. So, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to end this episode of The Ram Show, and we will see all of you next week. Bye.